Hi, welcome to Sattva Restore, your restorative yoga therapy break. Today we're going to be focusing on a forward fold. So you'll probably need a couple bolsters or a pillow and a bolster in order to do this posture. So something to probably elevate your hips on and then to fold forward. So when we're sitting in our L shape, this is called Dandasana pose. It's like our seated mountain or a seated staff pose. Then it's really hard a lot of times for us to really sit up straight without engaging a lot of our abdominal muscles. And we're usually back toward the tailbone. So we want to walk the hips back. And if we just feel like we can't quite get up to this perfect 90-degree shape, then we'll want to elevate our hips up on something as well. So you can walk your hips up on a bolster. And then again, you don't just want to be sitting back here on your bolster, you kind of want to roll the pelvis forward. So we're working a hip hinge. Now another way to do this is to slide the bolster under your knees. Because if you start to work that hip hinge and you feel too much pressure in your knees, you may also want something supporting your knees. So that's actually what I'm going to use today, is putting the bolster underneath my knees and walking the hips back, because I can start to fold here, but I am feeling a little bit of pressure in my knees, so I want those supported. And then we're also going to use something for on top of you to rest into. And you don't have to bring your forehead all the way down, but if you have a nice large couch cushion or a big bolster, then you could even stack a block on top of it. So let's come into the L shape. Walk the hips back so that you find a little bit of rotation. The back of the pelvis is tilting forward and the sitting bones are reaching back and down. So you're grounded there and you're still very steady in your posture. And then we're going to open up the sides a little bit. So as you start to come forward over to whatever you're using to rest on, we'll inhale one side open and then exhale, close. Inhale, other side. And exhale, close. And just go side to side, opening up the sides of the body. We're just rotating with our internal levers, not moving our pelvis. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. One more time on each side. A little dynamic movement before we move into stillness is part of our methodology with Sattva restorative therapy. And then we'll reach the hands forward. So I'm always lifting up and out, so I'm not putting too much pressure in the low back. And then finding that support to lean into. You could also stack your fists and rest the forehead. When we rest the forehead down on something, it has this relaxation quality, this quality of calming anxiety, as it creates more drawing inward. It's called pratyahara in the yoga limbs, and that's withdrawal of the senses inward so that we can store this precious life force energy. And sometimes a prayer. And then remember, we want an evenness of sensation. We're opening all the back lines of the body that affect the heart. So from the heels all the way up the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the low back, mid back, upper back, neck, and head. Are you feeling an even stretch? The entire back of the body. And if you're not feeling an even stretch, can you make a little micro movement? Like walking the hips back, supporting the knees, maybe flex and point the toes, even squeeze the glutes and lift and come back in. It's okay to shift around until you find more of that even sensation. Remember, we always want that even sensation. If we feel it in one place, that's a strain, not a stretch. I'm just going to take the prayer variation with my thumbs pressing into that space between the brow for the relaxation response. Back of my neck is relaxed. Is yours? The shoulders, mid back, low back. The thigh bones are drawing back and the hips are grounding down. The heart is reaching forward, and as you breathe into your belly, it waves toward the thighs. Just calm your awareness through your body. Notice where you can release more. Where can you let go? I'm staying for about 3 more breaths. Notice the mind, the body calming, so you can connect to that internal peace, that joy that's always there. And slowly starting to rise back up. Roll your shoulders up and back a couple times. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, back. You might even realize you can sit up a little more easily in this position, in your L seat. Good. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Vani with PranaYoga Insitute, and this is Sattva Restore, your restorative yoga therapy break. Namaste, everybody.